After that, they would return to make some animated gems, starting with Beauty and the Beast, based on the fairy tale of Jean-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont. It's the story of a girl who is kept in a castle by a beast who is ironically named the Beast. The Beast had to break his spell by finding true love and might have found it with that girl in his castle. Like in Down Under, the art directors had to go to the country which the film is based on for inspiration, which in this case is the Loire Valley in France. They even studied some painters like Fragonard and Boucher to get the European look in the film. Glenn Keane, the supervising animator on The Beast, mixed a lot of animals to make the character. It had the hair of a lion, the bear and head structure of a buffalo, the tucks and nose bridge of a wild boar, the brow of a gorilla, the legs and tail of a wolf, and the body of a bear. Howard Ashman, the executive producer and lyricist, is the one who suggested that the household objects of the film would come to life. Sadly, it was his last film that he completed all the songs, because he died of AIDS at the age of 40. At the end of the film, there is a tribute saying, "To our friend Howard, who gave a mermaid her voice and a beast his soul. We would be forever grateful." The film is infamous for the use of traditional animation and CGI, like in the Be Our Guest sequence and the dance scene. When it was released, it was the third most successful movie of 1991, with more than $140 million domestically. Ahead of them were Terminator 2 and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. On the Academy Awards, it made history. It was nominated for Best Song 3 times and won for Be Our Guest. This film, along with The Lion King, Dreamgirls, and Enchanted, are the only films that are nominated 3 times for Best Song. Now there's a limit of 2 songs per film to be nominated. Other than that, it won for Best Music, and it was nominated for Best Sound and Best Picture. Even though it lost to Silence of the Lambs, this film is the first and only animated film to be nominated for Best Picture. After that, they released a very successful Broadway musical of the same name that ran for 13 years. There are rumors that it might return to Broadway, and according to Alan Menken, there's going to be a live-action film adaptation of the musical. Now don't forget, on February 12th, 2010, Disney is going to put back Beauty and the Beast on the big screen. And as an added bonus, they're going to put it in Disney Digital 3D, so don't miss out. This is going to be a perfect date movie for Valentine's Day. In 1992, they went on to release Aladdin. It's about a young thief named Aladdin who falls in love with the Sultan's daughter, Jasmine. Then, Jafar came in to ask Aladdin to get a magical lamp in a cave. In there, a genie came up and Aladdin asked for his help to impress the princess. The idea of making this a musical is once again the late Howard Ashman. He came up with that idea during the production of The Little Mermaid. He already wrote some songs with Alan Menken like Prince Ali, and my personal favorite, Friend Like Me.
You never had a friend like me.
After his death, Tim Rice came to replace Howard and wrote some extra songs for the film like One Jump Ahead and the Oscar-winning A Whole New World. Each character was animated by one guy, like some will only work on this guy and some will only work on that guy separately. A better example would be that Glenn Keane, who was working on the Genie, was animating in the studio in Burbank, California, and Mark Henn, who was working on Jasmine, was animating in the studio at Disney's MGM Studios, now called Disney's Hollywood Studios, in Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. A notable actor I must talk about is Robin Williams. During the recording, more than half of the lines that Genie said were improvised by Robin. I mean, He improvised it so much that the Academy Awards rejected the film for the nomination Best Adapted Screenplay. He recorded during filming breaks on Hook and Toys, and he would cheer up the cast and crew of Schindler's List by speakerphone during production. Another character that Robin played was the street merchant in the opening scene. And let me tell you, that entire opening scene, completely unscripted. Now here's when the drama kicks in. He did the voice for SAG scale pay, in condition that his name and image will not be made for marketing, and that the character would not take more than 25% of the advertisement. Well, because that didn't happen, Robin felt betrayed. CEO Michael Eisner tried to apologize to Williams by giving him a Pablo Picasso painting, but then Robin refused. During that time, voice actor Dan Castellaneta, who is known for doing Homer Simpson, provided Genie's voice in the Aladdin sequel, Return to Jafar, and the TV series. Suddenly, when Jeffrey Katzenberg got replaced by Joe Roth as chairman of Walt Disney Studios, the new producer made a public apology to Williams by Disney. Robin was so touched that he returned to do the voice of Genie in Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Disney was so happy to reject Castellaneta's recording for Robin's. And on September 10th, 2009, Robin Williams was named Disney Legend, along with Tony Anselmo, Bill Farmer, the cast of The Golden Girls, and many more. On its release, it was one heck of a success. It was the most successful film of 1992 with $217 million domestically, and I mean everybody loved it. Even Chuck Jones said that this is the funniest feature ever made. And let's not forget of the hundreds of awards it won. Oh, and one more thing. Listen to what Aladdin said in this scene.
Come on, good teenagers, take off.
Now he said, "Come on, good kitty, take off and go. Not good teenagers, take off your clothes." Now we got that out of the way, on to the next movie, which is The Lion King. It's the life of a lion cub named Simba, whose father got killed by Simba's uncle, Scar. He ran away and grew up with Timon and Pumbaa with no worries on life. Then, his childhood friend Nala came to get him to stop Scar with his evil reign on the Pride Land. When production began, it was originally called King of the Jungle. Then, when Thomas M. Dish, author of The Brave Little Toaster, wrote it, it was inspired by Hamlet, and it was called King of the Kalahari in late 1988. In 1992, there was a session to change a lot of stuff in the script. A makeover for Simba, major revising for the second half of the film, further developing the characters, and a lot of rewriting has to be done. For the animation, they brought in renowned wildlife expert Jim Fowle with some lions and other animals for the film, kind of like what they did with the fawns for Bambi. In there, Jim talked about the animals' lifestyle and what their characteristics are. Some of the team have to go to Africa to understand the environment of the film. A notable scene is when Simba is running away from the wildebeest stampede, not just because of Mufasa's death. The wildebeests were all computer animated. In fact, there were several that were made by computer, multiplied by like 100, cel-shaded to make them look like they were hand-drawn animated, and give them random patterns down a mountainside. The songs were written by Elton John and Tim Rice, and the score was made by Hans Zimmer. There was one song that didn't make it on the original release. It was called The Morning Report. It was later on added on the 2002 IMAX presentation, the DVD Platinum release, and in the Broadway musical. One time, the staff felt that this film was going to be less important than its next film, Pocahontas. Even Elton John felt that he hit a new low when he was writing the music of Hakuna Matata. When it was released in 1994, what happened was the complete opposite of that. It became the highest grossing hand-drawn animated film in history with a total of more than $780 million worldwide. It was critically acclaimed, it won tons of awards, and many spin-offs and sequels were made. There was a controversy that the star spelled sex at one point, but it was later on revealed that it was supposed to say SFX, or Special Effects. Another controversy was that some elements of the film were taken from the Japanese anime Kimba the White Lion. The creator of the anime later denied the rumors and said that he doesn't want to sue them since Disney has the best lawyers in the world. A Broadway musical adaptation has been released, and let me tell you, if you're ever going to New York, Las Vegas, or if the national tour is coming close to you, go and watch it. I will guarantee you'll have a great time.